It's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's Superhero Slate. It's a weekly podcast where we talk about everything that's great, like movies, TV, superheroes. It's Superhero Slate. Oh yeah.
Hello everyone and welcome to Superhero Slate, the show where we run down the latest superhero entertainment news.
We love TV, movies, and superheroes, so let's talk it all out.
My name is Chris.
My name's Mike.
and he drugged that out for a little bit there. But this week, we're celebrating Batman Day because I never remember if it's actually Batman Day or if it's like 3 times a year they have Batman Day.
You're right.
It's one of those things. Someone just says it's Batman Day. I'm like, yep, sure it is. It is now. With that, Doomsday Wraps Filming a year ahead of time before it comes out. But we're going to talk about what that means and the implications. Daredevil Born Again gets born yet again, season 3 and more.
How many times can you be born in one lifetime? It depends on how many streaming networks you jump between.
It's true. And I want to talk about, like, do you think they'll keep Born Again as the title, or do you think like season 2 will get a different title? Like, we'll talk about that later.
Oh, but yeah, that'd be kind of interesting.
Because Born Again already indicate, like, we know what it is. We don't need to say it's Born Again season 2, but they might. Who knows? We'll talk about it a little bit more.
Well, Chris, I wanted to share a fun fact with you that I learned over the weekend. Because we're little Red Bull boys over here. We love our little kiss of caffeine whenever we can get it.
God, I love it so much.
I learned recently that if you didn't know this already, I feel like it might be common knowledge, but like the reason like plants like develop like caffeine as like a compound is because it's lethal to insects. So
that
it's like an
explains why I don't
evolutionary
get
advantage.
bug bites, because they are lethal to little insects.
But the funny thing is I always thought it was because like, oh, caffeine is just dangerous to insects specifically, like kind of like how like I don't think dogs can like eat onions or something. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But humans totally can. But actually, the same stuff that the caffeine is doing to the bugs does the same things to humans. We're just big enough where like just the quantity just does not harm us. But like if we consumed enough caffeine, like equivalent to what it takes to kill a bug, like apparently the same kind of body functions would happen that would kill us. So just remember, every time you take a sip of caffeine, you're just like you're just annihilating your body with like little punches. Mm-hmm. Like, but it's never gonna kill you, but it's gonna wake you up. So that's all we care about.
I am a Saiyan, so the more damage I get from these Red Bulls, Mike, I get stronger. I become stronger every time. So I am obviously getting closer to this. But it's funny you bring up, because we've been talking about snacks, because they have a new exotic snack store in our mall, and I haven't been to the mall in years. Like, the mall is the last place I want to go. But this is actually near the food court, oddly enough. So we went yesterday, and I sent Mike a picture of my haul. It's all sorts of Red Bulls that I've never even seen of, cans I've never even dreamt of opening before. Right now I've got a Japanese Coke Zero Vanilla I'm sipping on here, and some other things. And I like this stuff. I like taking them to work because you get it, like, that's like, I make friends with snacks, like food, the common denominator for everybody. But like, they had like, oh, if you want the orange Kit Kats or the matcha Kit Kats, yeah. But like, I got some weird stuff. I've got peach flavored Oreos I'm gonna try later. We love a good snack. And I had the spring edition Red Bull from Japan, which was strawberry. And if I have never said we need a strawberry flavored Red Bull, like, we need one in America. Like, that should be an American spring flavor because of how good it was yesterday.
Well, if we know anything about the flavor strawberry and the snacks that we cover on this show, that it will 100% happen on February Valentine's Day, because everything just becomes strawberry flavored in February.
That's true.
Which is kind of annoying, because I think strawberry is a hard flavor to achieve artificially.
Yeah.
So I'll wish the Red Bull Corporation luck.
I do, but I think this is like, obviously, that like Japanese and European candies are all made with like actual like flavors rather than the fake strawberry. It tastes pretty good. So hopefully maybe they have some extra left over and they can bring over here for us, like an actual the authentic strawberry. It's like it's like fake watermelon. Doesn't really taste like watermelon, kind of thing. So we can cross our fingers for that. I don't remember what I was at the store earlier. Everything's orange and green for Halloween right now. Do you want green Snickers? Green goo in your Snickers? By God, you can get it right now. You want orange Kit Kats? They got them. You can get those too. So, someone did send me something. They were like, the guy who sent me the announcement about the snack store in the mall. Listener to the show, Andrew, he was like, "This is because you guys talk about snacks on your show all the time." And I was like, "Thank you for thinking of me," and also sending me this thing. So it was a good time. Anything else, Mike? You want to jump into the news? You want to get into this a little bit?
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to throw in again. We have time codes below in our show notes, so be sure to jump into those. First and foremost, Star Wars Starfighter is in production. We got a tease a couple weeks ago. With our first photos, black and white, Ryan Gosling and Flynn Gray together on like a little land speeder, and now we're getting a little different taste. We're getting Ryan Gosling and Flynn Gray out in the ocean, and what was it? You who called it a secret Waterworld sequel?
Yes,
doing here?
It's a stealth Waterworld sequel.
It's funny because we always talked about Star Wars having planets that are defined by like one geographical instance, like Tatooine's all sand. Naboo is all it's like forest and stuff, or indoors all forest and hostile ice, and like the fact that we've got like what appeared to be like a land speeder in a sand desert, now we got like an ocean and what appears to be like maybe like an ocean bike or some sort of thing. It sounds like they're going to be maybe planet hopping a little bit in this one.
It makes me you could spin this in like so many directions, but it is interesting to go like, oh yeah, a Star Wars, I always think like space, and this is they're on the water. I don't know, it's just a little refreshing just to see it in a slightly different location.
And the idea that it's called Starfighter is also interesting, but I also don't think they're going to be filming Starfighter, like the star space scenes, outside either. Like that's probably something that's in on a set, maybe with a lot of green and blue screens. At least it's not a volume, right? Like this is like, I think if they're taking anything away from maybe Andor, it's filming in real locations. We even saw Shawn Levy do that with Deadpool and Wolverine, right? Even though they were in the void, they were out filming in those rocky valleys for that movie.
I know Shawn Levy in the comment here said somewhere in the Mediterranean Sea, but he could be lying to us. This could be the volume. Whatever platform they're standing on, put that up on a couple boxes. That easily is a screen. It could easily be a screen behind them, and then the lighting, is very natural from the volume.
Yeah.
But I think you kind of flip a coin with this this story scenario, right? They're either on the hunt for something, or they've crash landed, and then they're just trying to get back to get back to humanity some way.
Yeah, it kind of looks like he's like Ryan Gosling's like leaning on like some handlebars of some, like it's like some sort of bike or something maybe.
One thing can be known for certain: Ryan Gosling looks so damn handsome. He looks so cool. Like he looks so effortless. Like I'm so jealous.
He's just like,
got,
like the devil may care attitude look on his face too. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'm on the ocean.
He's got custom tailored like Star Wars universe pants on, and damn.
What can he do? What? How are we gonna get him in Marvel or DC? Where would you put him at in Marvel or DC? That's the question. Like I don't even where would we be able to throw him into? I guess the larger superhero universes rather than just Star Wars. I don't know if you're gone or not. We're gonna keep recording. I can't hear you. I'm gonna actually message you and see if you can hear me.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, here
I'm
he
back.
is. Okay, he's back. So we got him. But like, did you hear my question about if he's on where Marvel or DC?
Gosh, I don't know. I feel like DC has all the heat right now. Yeah. So if I was an actor in this industry, I'd go where the heat is. I feel like a lot of us, the audience, and even Hollywood in general, we're all kind of waiting to see like, what does Doomsday do, right? This is going to be the first outing of an Avengers movie since Endgame. Like, if it doesn't like perform exceptionally, I feel like that is a sign that people are not going to be excited to see. And an Avengers movie is supposed to be an event. They always have been. So it can't just do like good at the box office. It's supposed to do great at the box office because that's the whole point of these movies. So I think that'll be our bellwether. And then maybe somebody like a Gosling, or at least his agents look, which way are we going? Are we going DC or Marvel?
Well, I mean, put them in both. There's people who've done both sides. I was gonna say Nova. Like, no, we're gonna talk about that here in a little bit. But like a Richard Rider kind of like, Nova. I know he'd be the kind of guy like he's not gonna wear the helmet the whole time, but I think he could pull that off pretty well. For DC, I'm not as well versed, but is he our next Aquaman? Is he like, because maybe it's because I'm seeing him on water right now, but he's got that like, we don't need another Jason Momoa Aquaman. We could flip the script here and do a little one. I was gonna say Nightwing, but I think he's aged out of Nightwing territory. So, but anyway, if anyone has any ideas, throw them our way. Let's jump into Daredevil. We're gonna go back to the Marvel side real fast here. Daredevil Born Again, whatever it is, season 1. They just wrapped filming season 2. They've already been renewed for season 3. I know there'd been some talk because Charlie Cox had accidentally said it was like the final season was season 2. I think that's just how they talk, like, in I don't think he meant season 2 was the last season. I think it was just like the last season we filmed. So they're doing for season 3, and it'll begin shooting I think in the spring on the same shooting schedule of season 1 and 2. So it'll be a year out from season 2 to 3, which would put it March, April of 2027. And I think this is going to be one of those shows that exists again outside of the main Marvel continuity, Mike. I don't think they can put this in between. Whatever Doomsday and Secret Wars is doing, they're not going to mess with Daredevil in that situation. Do you think?
Yeah, it's kind of tough, right? Because they want to implement more of like a television production cycle with Daredevil, where they can kind of like, guarantee new seasons every year. And at that rate of production, it's kind of going to be just like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was, where like you can't really key into everything going on in the MCU unless like you're really lucky. Like when they pulled off the whole like Winter Soldier, like Hydra, like in plain sight reveal, that was big, but that never happened ever again to that level. So it is a bit of a bummer though, because like we always say it on this show, but like the kind of like the fun of the Marvel universe is all the action figures getting to play together. So I guess at least if Daredevil is on Disney Plus now, we can hopefully see like characters cameo in the season. We definitely need more of that in season 2.
Right.
I think we were expecting more.
Well, we know we're getting Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones. I literally would not be surprised if Luke Cage doesn't show up. It's like one of the worst kept secrets of Daredevil. So I think that'll be 100% he'll be in there. And it's fun that the Punisher is going to get his own show and going to Spider-Man the other way. But it is, I understand it is harder to reference downwards all the time rather than upwards because they're trying to tell their own story, right? The problem is they've literally set all the Marvel products in New York, and you can only do so much because last time Thunderbolts did the Century and then jumped forward a year and a couple months. What do we else we have? We have obviously Spider-Man's going to be there. Daredevil has been there with Mayor Fisk. I would love to see some more of that stuff, but I would love to see season 3, like you said, bring in more street level characters. If there is a ban on vigilantes upcoming in the next season, and I don't know if they'll resolve it, but I would love to see a couple more down like crime level people be involved, because they're not going to be able to do New York is under an earthquake because there's a dragon under it like they did in the first season. Kind of Defender stuff, but like I would love to see, like you said, there's got to be more people in New York if everything's set there to deal with. And I don't want Wong. He's in everything. This is like the one show he doesn't belong in, if that makes sense, because It's just too little along the way. I would love to see Shang-Chi, actually. Maybe like an Iron Fist Shang-Chi like kind of thing we've always talked about. But maybe you probably won't get that. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 next spring, Season 3 the year after. Move on, Vision. I'm really surprised we haven't seen anything for Vision yet. Other than, casting. I understand there's probably a lot of CG work that goes on in the show, right? That's a little different. But there have been several people out there saying that, quote, I've heard that Vision is great, so people are happy with the current Vision show. And the rumor is that Terry Matalas, who is working on this, is rumored to possibly get to work on Nova or get a overall Marvel deal after this show, based on how well this production and show is going internally.
I mean, I would love it if this kind of like pseudo Disney Plus trilogy, just really ends on a strong note.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of like that and Loki are like the best things that they've been able to crank out against like the adversity of the Chapek timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So if a creator like that can kind of work through all of that, yeah, they should be rewarded.
I think my thing is, I don't know, to me, is Vision the trilogy capper, or should they go forward with another one that actually deals with the a sequel to Agatha and Wanda more than the sequel to Wanda and Vision, if that makes sense. Because like I don't think that kid's gonna be in here. Like his quote unquote son with Wanda is gonna be in this show. At least one of them. The other one might be. Because I don't think he mixes in here very well, and I haven't really heard anything. But they got to do something with it. They got to wrap it up pretty well, right? Like they can't really like, hey, here's Agatha's now a ghost and is helping out Billy, and just leave it at that. Even though they have left things alone, like She-Hulk hasn't been touched, Daredevil was in that, Hawkeye hasn't been touched hardly at all. They got some stuff they gotta work through, but. Vision, I'm excited for Vision. We know that James Spader is returning, whether it's Ultron or not, I don't know, but like he was, in hindsight, Avengers Age of Ultron, it is a busy movie trying to live up to the first one, but I do love James Spader as Ultron. I think that's a fantastic delivery there. Moving on, Fantastic Four First Steps will get a digital release, a PVOD on 9/23, so this week. I believe that is Tuesday. So be prepared in your feeds to start seeing very crisp clips cut from this movie and in your feeds and threads and all the other fun stuff. And then the physical release is just a couple weeks later on 10/14 for those who still collect physical media, like myself with the Steelbook coming out.
Yeah, I've already seen people share the deleted scene where Sue takes an elevator down to what's the underground city called? Subterranean. That's right. So yeah, people are already chomping at the bit, ready to share stuff.
Yeah, there was one I saw. It's the CG's unfinished, but it was, I think, they're building the rocket to take to space, and Ben's in like one of his new sweatshirts or something like that. I think it's right before he goes and tries to meet that one girl at the synagogue there. So it was one with that. So there's some stuff in there. I really want to. I know we're not going to see it, but I would love to see the John Malkovich stuff they cut with him as was it the Red Ghost or something like that. So very excited. I've not had a chance to revisit this since it came out. I'm really excited to rewatch it with high quality, with a high quality release later this week. So keep it out. And then there was actually 2 steelbooks came out. One's an Amazon exclusive, and it has like a poster that they released at like Comic-Con as like the cover. They're leaning in to the artsy releases for the book, which is okay, I guess. But I was hoping for maybe like, remember those banners they did at San Diego Comic-Con with the 70s like silhouettes of the characters. Really hoping they do something with those, but sadly not. But we'll see. What else comes out here in later this month, or within a month? I'll be out. Mike, Avengers Doomsday has wrapped principal photography, And there have been multiple things shared about wrap gifts. One of them that we have here is I don't know what kind of print this is. I assume it's more than just a poster. But it is in fact a Jack Kirby's Doctor Doom on something. I don't know what this is attached to. I've seen people with shirts. I've seen people with the crew jackets with the Doomsday logo. This one, whoever posted this, stated it's been a wild ride for filming this. And I cannot wait for some of these production stories to start hitting the old Reddit this holiday season.
Yeah, I don't remember where I saw it, but I saw that like, oh, this is just kind of like you said, the cameras have been turned off, but it seems like there's a ton of work to do, not even just considering like post-production. I feel like there's like another half of this movie that still has to get cranked out in some way. So I don't know if that's just like the scheduled, reshoots, that they do, all the time for everything, or if, this is principal photography, like exterior, and then they're like going inside for stuff. I don't know, but I've gotten the vibe somewhere that there's still a lot more to go on this movie.
Yeah, I don't think the whole movie's done. I agree with you. I also think that has to do with maybe cast schedules, like because this is such a large casting, and we know that more people will be announced. I believe that they filmed what they could get under the books and with everyone right now, and then I assume they're gonna maybe work on that tool a little bit, see what they're missing, see what they can do, and pick up the extra cast member scenes come January through March or May even, to get those, because when you have this many people in a movie, you can't get them all in the same place at once for a long time. They're all actors who have schedules.
And for certain that this movie is going to have a post-credit scene that probably maybe hasn't even been filmed yet. Something like that is probably going to be filmed on like a shoestring set of like 5 people, to make sure nothing leaks. And the Russo brothers know what they're doing when it comes to that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
man, next year, it's going to hit us like a ton of bricks out of nowhere. Like I thought we were kind of done for the year with big releases, and then I forgot, oh yeah, there's a whole Avatar movie that's still coming out in a couple months, and then before we know it, I'm gonna have the same feeling of Doomsday.
Yeah, well, and we got again like next year's Supergirl, Spider-Man, Clayface, and then Doomsday. So it's kind of a middle of the year kind of thing, and the front of the year is kind of dried up there. But one of the things I also was gonna say is Secret Wars is only a year after Doomsday, right? One full calendar year. My guess is they might start filming some of Secret Wars next year because the cast will be overlapped again, and it will be some of the extra Doomsday material there as well, with that cast. Because here, we watched Avengers Infinity War, we watched Endgame. Not everyone was in the same place together at the same time, right? Like Infinity War had like essentially 3 teams of people, and then Endgame they all went their own ways to revisit the old Marvel movies. So I expect them to not be there together and getting this done. I'm excited to see the marketing approach to this. Everyone's talked about like, they'll do they've got to do a big marketing push. They do have to do a huge marketing push, but they don't have to do it till the back half of the year. And I don't think Spider-Man will tee off into this, even though it could, and I think that would be great. I don't know if it needs to too hard, but I don't know. It's just, we've got so many questions and there's so much mystery and intrigue. I'm like you. I'm like, damn. When this picks up, like, hopefully it's not just good. It's great on the other side of that. And also to your point, the Russo brothers, I did not see in Infinity War that the Thanos would actually get his snap off, right? Like they like pulled the rug right out from under everybody. Like we never heard that was actually going to happen. At all. So I applaud them for maybe, we're theorizing this will go to Battleworld, but maybe they pull the rug out from under us.
I will use this time to read a screenshot that I took from TikTok over the weekend. There's somebody who has been showing their girlfriend like the MCU. I guess she has never seen it. So the boyfriend is kind of taking video of her reaction as she like moves through the series. And once he kind of got to Infinity War and Endgame, like the clips like really started to go viral. And it's like really fun kind of watching somebody experiencing those moments for the first time. And this comment, I was going to send it to the group chat, never got around to it. It just says, sometimes I watch the last 45 minutes of Endgame just to feel something again.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's really, I get that.
Well, when you came over to my house, that was one of the only scenes we watched in my home theater was the intro to the Dark Knight and the in-game battle scene, right?
Yeah, that's all you need. Like right when Cap, picks up that hammer, that you just like you just check out and then you just vibe. But it was really fun watching somebody experience it because it's like, yeah, like, and then of course you see all the comments of like, oh, the MCU ended after Endgame. So those people really exist out there, and the Russo brothers got to win them back.
Yeah. I also I just double checked this while you're reading off. One of the hair and makeup stylists posted their bag they got for the wrap gift, which is different, even more, and features like the cast, at least the announced cast, in their comic suits for this, and it looks like they're leaning into the X-Men getting their comic / X-Men 97 outfits in this. Like Cyclops is getting this blue and yellow. Nightcrawler getting the longer hair. Like, this is a really cool bag. Like, hopefully this becomes something.
Who's the character underneath Red Guardian and to the left of Gambit? Because I was looking at this earlier and I couldn't figure it out.
It's not, no, Namor's right below him, right?
I think so. Yeah, that looks like Namor.
That's
Are we supposed to call him Namor? Because I feel like everyone called him Namor.
Yes, Namor. I'm pretty sure that might be the Black Panther king. Not T'Challa, the other one, the white.
T'Chaka?
No. The vegetarian.
M'Baku.
Yeah, there it is. I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure that's M'Baku.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, because he is on one of those chairs, if I recall.
The only one like who wasn't on one of these chairs is the bottom right, and that appears to be Reed and Sue's kid.
Franklin, I think.
Franklin. So, I mean, this is a fun little bag. Like, they can finally post this. I think we're going to see. I'm glad, to me, and I don't work on the film production, I'm glad that the actual wrap gifts are different for the teams, like, along the way. Like, it's not just one thing for everybody mass produced. But by God, how much would it cost to get by? I want to buy one of these. Like, I want to buy it off somebody who doesn't care. That would be really fun to see. But yeah. So check that. We literally just added fresh to our show notes right now. We're gonna stay in the Marvel thing for a little bit. Video game world. We've talked some video games lately. Mike, you sent me this. I just seen it right before you sent it to me. 1943, the Rise of Hydra video game that is coming out next year. Gameplay from 2023 has found their way online from one of the developers who worked on the game. And just to asterisk this before anyone says anything, this is an early build from 2-3 years ago. Not even close to it. Oh, it's already been taken down. Look at that. Someone has got here in the past 2 days, Mike, before we could even get people the link.
Well, we got an image gallery here of some screen caps because I only vaguely remember the footage. It was kind of one of those things where I saw it and I sent it to you going, oh, I'll just watch this on Sunday. So the footage, I remember it being like very kinetic, like you're inside of like a room as Black Panther and you're just kind of almost like bouncing off the walls in a way, like very like fast paced action.
And there's debris and dust kind of kicking up along the way too. Like everything seems to be maybe destructible along the way because it wasn't
stills
clean.
These stills look great. I love there's a photo down here where it looks like the Black Panther is in like this snow strewn alley with like this hotel sign above him, and you see like these, I guess not for the time, but vintage to us, like cars in the background. It's like, oh, this looks like such a fun environment to be like a stealth superhero,
It looks like there's also like I'm gonna guess this might be London based on everything here. Maybe Germany. I don't know, because we know it's 1943. They're going, it's World War II. But like there's like a subway system. There's the snow streets. There's some high class, alleyways, some caverns, some outdoor stuff. So yeah, it looks like when you're playing Black Panther, you get to lean into that stealth a little bit throughout it. And then like he is fast. He is destructible. I I know it's coming next year. Hopefully we get something at the Video Game Awards at the end of this year. I would love to. I'm excited we get a Marvel game to play, and this is kind of like tangible, because I was talking with someone at work earlier this week. This week was the 20th anniversary of X-Men Legends 2. I don't know if you ever got to play the X-Men Legend games as a kid. So they're essentially the prequels to Marvel Ultimate Alliance. The same company that made Ultimate Alliance made those X-Men games first, and they play the same way. And the last time we had an Ultimate Alliance game, Mike, was San Diego Comic-Con 2019, because we picked it up at Target for my plane ride home on the Switch.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And it's been locked to the Switch ever since then. But knowing that we're going to be coming up on the 20th anniversary of Ultimate Alliance soon, I would love to see like a re-release of all 3 games, the Ultimate Alliance games, and maybe include the X-Men Legends games with online multiplayer, because I think there's just so much fun to play in the sandbox of the Marvel world with all the characters and all their abilities. But this has me excited for next year to dive back into a Black Panther Captain America game, knowing that a lot of them have been a lot of Marvel games have been canned lately. In the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
listen, the best thing that you can do with video games is forget that they exist, and then hopefully the next time you hear about it is when they're like 2 months from being released.
Yeah.
Because I forgot the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, Ghosts of Yote,
Yeah.
was coming out, and then I looked and I was like, oh man, it's like 6 weeks away, and now it's even shorter. I think I can play it in like 2 weeks now.
Oh, nice.
And I had done such a good job forgetting about it that I missed an entire like in-depth gameplay trailer and like cinematic trailer. So I went back the other week and I watched those, and I was like, this is great. This is perfect timing. I'm like super hyped, and I get to play it in like 2 weeks.
The problem with that is you're gonna be like that Cartman in the Wii episode where you're pacing outside a GameStop waiting for him to release a couple weeks early, because like this time's gonna slow down for you. It's gonna be the longest 2 weeks of your life.
Well, that's what sucks, because I order video games so rarely that I don't really know exactly the cadence at which Amazon would ship them. Because I know some people, even outside of the video game universe, they'll pre-order an item and they do their best to kind of calculate the shipment time and send it to you, so it arrives at your door like on the release day. So they account for that. And sometimes you're lucky and you might get it a day or two early. Sometimes and getting it 1 day late when you order it online is like purgatory, because it's like I already bought the game. I have to wait a whole extra day to play it when I could just literally drive down the street and buy it like at Target.
Or you could have preloaded and downloaded it like a week ahead of time. Yeah. To me, it's the worst part when you do that. Like you get it. Like I'm always like the end of the UPS truck day, like 6 or 7 at night. And then I have to like put it in and then download an update for it. I'm like, this sucks. I wish I could just download the game, not have access to it. When I put it in the disc, it just unlocks the access to the game. Because that would be it. But yeah. So I mean, 1943 Rise of Hydra. I've not seen anything official. It's not reveal. It's still leak stuff. So hopefully we get something official at the end of this year. Maybe a release date. I'd love to have a window for that. To see what that is. But the other thing, games, we're going to talk about too, that have kind of popped up this week, and I think I sent this to you earlier, is that Venom game, a spinoff of Spider-Man 2, is rumored to get a 2027 release. And the biggest thing to take out of this, it is not a spoilers for the second game, a Harry Osborn version of Venom, but Eddie Brock will be in the suit for this upcoming spinoff, where you play as Venom, and will focus on literally playing as Venom solo, not Spider-Man. But I think they might be in the story, but they're going after Carnage, which was a subplot or sub quest in Spider-Man 2. And
was Eddie Brock introduced in the video game at any point?
I don't know. That's what I was trying to think of. I'm gonna look it up right now. While you say that.
I don't think so, because I feel like when you meet Peter in the first Amazing Spider-Man game, he's already like, a very seasoned hero. And I feel like Eddie Brock is like more of a character that naturally gets introduced like early in Peter's life. Whether it's like an Eddie Brock that's, I think in some universes they put him in high school, in some universes they kind of put him at the Bugle. So I don't know.
Well, the only thing, so looking this up here, in the first Spider-Man game, there's a postcard from Eddie when Peter left the Daily Bugle, because he doesn't work at the Daily Bugle in these games, right? He's already post Daily Bugle. So there's that. I think he was I think there's another part where he was reporting on Kraven the Hunter in the second one as a reporter.
Oh, also, I think I'm confused with Flash Thompson as well.
Yeah,
So
the other one.
I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't think Flash was introduced either. So they got some fun reveals that they could do, and like we've said before on this show, we absolutely love the narrative world that they've built in these games. Like they've done such a fun kind of alternate universe take that feels almost more organic and like better told than the comic books and some of the movies.
Yeah.
So if they want to, I'm looking forward to playing it. We know it's going to be better than those movies.
Yeah, and obviously, like what was cool about Spider-Man and then the spin-off Miles Morales, right? It's like this. It was the same map updated for Christmas time, and it had a really good story. They don't have to reinvent the engine. Like they don't have to build this from the ground up. So they could have been focusing on literally the story the entire time. And by going with Eddie Brock, sadly Tony Todd passed away, I think last year, and he had recorded a bunch of lines as Venom and that didn't make it in the final game. So they could pull some of Tony Todd's voice forward, or with Eddie Brock, the voice may sound different because it's a different host, right? So they can honor Tony Todd's time as Venom without having to skimp out or do stuff with that as well.
I wonder what they could do differently, like you were just mentioning. What could they do differently to the map to make it feel a little different? Because I love that kind of like winter kind of vibe. It kind of gave the whole city like a slightly different tone to it. I mean, just doing that again, I mean, I guess they could, but maybe they could find like another creative way to do it.
Yeah, and we got to think, when they did this when they opened up the island across the bridge, right? What's that called again?
Queens.
Yeah, so they opened up like you got twice the amount of map here. It's about the same. You can see some similarities, but like there's so much more to do across this.
The I don't remember the technical name of what they called them in the game, but the symbiotes still linger after you complete the story. That's like one of the missions that you can kind of keep doing in your off time in the post game. So maybe they could develop that a little bit more. Maybe there's some sort of like spores like floating around like Manhattan or something, and maybe that affects the map a little bit or something.
It was the map. The second one was really cool when they did like whenever the Venom hives took over, like the multi-story hives. They could deal with some of those, and honestly, with Carnage being the villain, I'm interested to see how they adapt Carnage to this game world, because they don't do it one for one. It's not like Venom may look similar, but he still had different abilities. Maybe they lean into anti-Venom going after Carnage, because Peter had the anti-Venom suit as well. Carnage obviously is known for murder. He was starting a lot of fires. I think it was like he had a lot of levels with fire. So maybe it's the opposite of Christmas. It's summer and there's a heat wave and there's fires everywhere, and one of your side missions is always stopping fires from going on. Because I think one of the I wouldn't say the worst parts, but like all of the crime happened on the lower levels of Spider-Man, right? Like you're never really doing anything vertically. They're always like down in the streets. But like, what if there's a fire and you have to go higher up the building to get people out, like save them from a window or something? It would be just a little different, little verticality. But this is a game, even though it's not been confirmed, it was in some of the leaks. I would just love to dive back into this world, because I think these games are awesome. I've beat them both on the hardest difficulties multiple times. I can love the Miles game. I just, they're so good, and I'm sorry Insomniac can't put out one a year, but like I'm selfish that way, so we'll see more. But Insomniac's not only focusing on Venom, they're also focusing on Wolverine. And Wolverine, part of this Venom rumor is that it is still on track to release in 2026, and the announcement is still likely to be at the latest the Video Game Awards in December. I wanna play. I mean, this is the Wolverine game is why I brought up X-Men Origins, or not X-Men Origins. What I just call X-Men. I lost it, Mike. I'm having a stroke over here.
X-Men Origins, Wolverine?
Legends. It was X-Men Legends, the video game, because it was a 20-year thing, and we're still waiting on a Wolverine. But X-Men Origins Wolverine, the video game, is a fucking fantastic game if you go back and play it. I don't know. Is there, we talked about Venom, we talked about Wolverine, Spider-Man. If we got Captain America and Black Panther, and I know EA is working on an Iron Man game, is there any other hero, not just Marvel, but DC, that could do with a video game right now? Like someone you're like, you know what? They'd be better served in the game world than the movie world.
I think, man, as much as I want to say Iron Man, I think my favorite thing to do in a video game is traversal. And I think flying around is just not as fun as like swinging or repelling or even just like really big jumps. Because flying around is, it's actually almost like too much movement. It's just like, well, there's nothing restricting me from like doing anything. So there's not as much fun. But I do like the idea of maybe some sort of game where you like customize like a suit over time. With Spider-Man, you're just kind of like customizing abilities and like the skins of the suit. But I think ultimately what I want is just all of these Insomniac characters to kind of like cross over a little bit. Like, even if it's not a game, I would love to just there be a significant story mission, maybe in Spider-Man Insomniac 3, where like Wolverine shows up, right? Like he doesn't have to be a main character in the game. He doesn't have to be on the box art, but it would be great if there was like a big meaty mission where like you're like next to Wolverine the whole time. That would be so cool.
Yeah. I mean that or even vice versa. Like Kraven was essentially like a Wolverine in Spider-Man 2, right? Like that's the cool part is like he was the hunter, he used his senses to kind of get you. But I think that'd be interesting. I would love to see just more people in the world around you. Like, I mentioned, it's like you said, maybe it's not Wolverine and Spider-Man or whatever, but like when we get to the Wolverine game, I want to know other X-Men exist in this world. It's not just Wolverine, right? Like we don't have to play with them. They could be there. Someone we talk to, someone we help, get out of a sticky situation, or they show up and help us in a situation. But like, there needs to be more heroes in the world. Yes, Spider-Man had an Avengers Tower, but they never did anything, right? Like there's got to be more people in the world, or at least in these games, and just the title characters. Is that kind of what you're getting at with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to see. I like the Lego Marvel games. Lego Batman just had something where they're talking about, on Batman Day, the Lego Batman game coming out next year. I think that's. I love the Lego Avengers games. I love more co-op ones. What if it was like a cozy sim? Like I'm talking about like
yeah,
it's like a Marvel cozy sim, because Disney does Dreamlight Valley, and then there's Stardew Valley. Like I would love just like you're tending the Avengers, like you're Jarvis and you're tending the Avengers house. I think that would be highly.
Or maybe you're building out New Asgard. That could be kind of fun. It'd be like a building simulator, but also maybe there could be like kind of like a light like civilization aspect to it, where you kind of like build up some like strongholds along the outside of it, but like do it like New Asgard in a sense of like, I guess it could be on Earth, it could be really anywhere. Maybe they're going back to Asgard to rebuild it, and then that gives you like a story reason to kind of build up kind of more tower defense type of stuff, because you've left like a power vacuum, and now all of these factions are trying to come back and take it over.
Yeah, I that would be fun, like a city sim kind of thing. I don't necessarily want like Warcraft, original Warcraft, but like, or Starcraft, but like you've got to do that. Like that'd be fun. You start on New Asgard to for the tutorial, then you get to Asgard. That'd be fun, because like with that you kind of bring up like you could like scale the level of all that stuff in that game, and no one would think twice, because we don't know what Asgard is. Like we don't have to think about it. Like they have a rainbow bridge. We got to rebuild the rainbow bridge. That's a mission.
Yeah, maybe like the Rainbow Bridge is like the ultimate goal to like winning the game. Like as you progress Asgard and you get it slowly back to how it was a big great kingdom, like the bridge just slowly starts to regenerate itself, that could be fun. And then once it's like, finished, like Thor finally comes back, because he couldn't come back for some reason without the bridge.
And I think if you get the Rainbow Bridge, and then you can maybe go like, now you get to go do stuff in the other realms. Like you're building like an Asgard outpost in the other realms as well.
I think we pitch it,
Yep.
you know? I
Yep.
think we go out, see how much I'm sure between the two of us, Chris, we can afford a video game license
Yeah, well,
for
that's
a
fine.
Marvel
I'm
property.
I'm just gonna go to ChatGPT, build a working model off AI first, and then we'll go down that road. Hey,
There we go.
can you just take this game that already exists and reskin it for us? Because that would be awesome. We'd love to do that. Also, you know what? Thinking about Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. Did you ever play that RTS?
Nope.
It's essentially StarCraft, but like I can see a Thor RTS. Like the more I'm thinking about like an Asgard RTS, the more I think about like or even like a Black Panther kind of thing. But anyway, we're going down to that. So Wolverine, Venom games from Insomniac. I expect them over the next couple of years. You better start saving now because those console prices keep going up instead of down over time. They're appreciating in value. So buckle up for that. Let's talk about Batman Day. Mike, I did not know this, but do you remember the Merry Little Batman movie from 2 years ago on Amazon?
Oh, it was like the holiday one. It's like 2D animated. Characters are kind of goofy. Batman's like a child.
Well, Batman's not a child. Batman's big, and his son Damien tries to be Batman
Yeah,
for Christmas.
that's right.
And I didn't know this, but there's a little series coming to Amazon called The Bat Fam, and it's got the return of Luke Wilson as Bruce Wayne, Jonas Cabriab as the voice of Damian Wayne, and James Cromwell returning as the voice of Alfred Pennyworth from that original movie. And it's just them, figuring out how to do Batman stuff with this little Batman around. And one of the images I saw, I couldn't tell you who. There's gonna be other villains in this, but Man Bat was in like one of these like little stills with Damien. It looks like he's got some sort of collectible card in a case. He's showing Damien in this, and I was like, that's a fun little take on Man Bat. This is gonna be a fun little show to watch with this. But like, I had no idea that this actually got something beyond that movie that HBO was like, we don't want, and Amazon was like, we'll gladly take this off your hands to get Batman stuff.
That's Amazon's MO. They're picking up the crumbs from these other superhero universes.
Yeah, let me see here. November is coming. I was like, I don't have the release date, but it is coming in November of this year. There, I just looked it up. Ra's al Ghul will be in this. Bobby Moynihan is Man Bat, by the way, which is going to be gives me some comedic edge here. And then what's it? Selena is the cat's name, by the way, if you don't remember as well. But I like this. We're coming up on the holiday season. We were literally talking about holiday movies before we jumped on here. We got Halloween coming up. I think this Batman 80 Returns is a Christmas movie with the penguin. But do you consider Batman a spooky time movie, a Halloween movie, because of the bats? Or
that's a good question. Maybe. I mean, I guess if Tim Burton touches anything enough, right, it's a Halloween movie.
Yeah, that's kinky, to say the least. If he touches things enough, they become Halloween. But yeah, like he's got that. He's got Beetlejuice. Corpse Bride. What was the other stop motion animated one he did? Did he do? No, he didn't do Coraline, did he?
I don't think so. I think that's one of those cases where whoever made Coraline is probably like, why does everyone think Tim Burton made my movie?
Yeah, well, it's like he didn't direct The Nightmare Before Christmas. He just wrote the short story that it's based on as well. So I'm gonna make a snap call. Batman 89 is a Halloween movie. There you go.
All right,
have it here, folks. Batman Returns can be turned on immediately after in November. December is a Christmas movie. I will allow that. So you can check out that image here in our show notes for Bat Fam. Matt Reeves has got to be the most patient man in Hollywood, because people bother him all the goddamn time asking if his Batman is going to be in the DC. Will Robert Pattinson, I'm going to call him Pattinson because of this, will he be in James Gunn's DCU? And I see this article, what I'm getting news for us every week, every goddamn week, Mike. Someone's asking him, and Matt Reeves says, yet again, the Batman movies, the Penguin show, they are Elseworlds. They are not in the DC. These are not playing with James Gunn stuff. They are my own thing. They will be my own thing. Will I say that is in concrete, Mike? Maybe not. Come 2027, 2028, they'd be like, yeah, we found a way to make them work together. But I think for the time being and the inherent story James Gunn is trying to tell, they're going to leave them separately. That seems fine with me. Is that fine with you? Like, we don't need them to always be together.
Yeah, they're two totally different. I mean, they're on different.
One's happy
levels.
and one's
like,
sad.
Yeah, like I feel like when I'm imagining like David Cornsweat Superman, I imagine him meeting a Batman that is more experienced, right? Maybe not necessarily old or elderly in any way. Like I'm almost expecting like a Batman Prime in a way of like, that's kind of maybe where some of the conflict comes in wherever they get introduced to each other. You have like this very hopeful, optimistic Cornsweat that's only kind of been Superman for a little while now. And then you have like this grizzled Batman who's been like in Gotham, like just for like a decade, just like grinding and grinding and grinding his teeth. And I don't think Pattinson's quite, there yet. I mean, maybe after like a third movie or something, maybe he kind of could be in that position. But that world's just like way too grounded. The Reeves world is almost like, it's been so long since we've talked about that movie when we reviewed it, but it's almost more realistic than Nolan's Batman, which was already like a very grounded Batman.
It's darker and grittier. Make them darker and grittier every time.
Yeah, I can't imagine a space imp like floating around in the background of Matt Reeves' universe.
Yeah. Like the worst they had was a flood, in that movie, right? Like the biggest villain was a flood. But yeah, like I agree. Like it's been so long since we've seen the Batman. I probably need to revisit that. But I agree with you. Like, it's just, it can be different. They can do different things at the same time. Like, they don't need to merge. And then also, James Gunn says everything he's done or touches since he took over is canonical. So, remember that time that Batman stopped the Creature Commando dude who looks like a skeleton, Dr. Phosphorus, and captured him?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, not that anything can't be retconned. Like, they're already doing that a lot with Peacemaker right now, like changing history and all these other multiverse stuff. Like, they don't have to live by it. But I think if we're trying to at least have James Gunn tell his story and find a Batman that works for him, we can't deal with Robert Pattinson, his version in that world. And that's fine. It's perfectly fine with me. Matt Reeves did say on Batman Day that there are announcements in the coming weeks and months. Now, knowing that this movie is coming out in 2027, they'll probably start filming at the beginning of the year. My guess is maybe New York Comic Con or something else. They'll start announcing casting for this. We might find out who the actual villain is. Will it be Hush? Will it be Mr. Freeze? Will it be the Calendar Man? Ooh, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Get a little long Halloween for us. But we've just, it's been so long since I've seen the Batman. I might need to go back and watch it and see kind of how that's been.
Yeah, it also might be a big headline if Colin Farrell is going to return as the Penguin. I had totally forgotten about that Penguin TV show. We just never got around to watching it, but it just won Emmys. Like it's like an Emmy-winning like prestige television show, and it's just like, oh yeah, I forgot they did a really good job fleshing that out. So maybe we'll see Colin Farrell or I don't know the character's name because I haven't watched it, but she won like the Emmy. She was the one that kind of like took home like the big trophy for it.
Yes, How I Met Your Mother. But Sophia Falcone is her name. It was the daughter of Falcone from the first one. But yeah, obviously there's that. Will we see Barry Keoghan return as the Joker, like from his blurry, interviews he did in the first one there? I don't know. There's a lot of intrigue. Matt Reeves has got some good stuff. I actually, you know what movie I thought about this week that I hadn't thought about in a long time? The Joker 2.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, man, imagine being like that hyped and that powerful. doing whatever you want and then just dropping the ball that bad, and making something nobody enjoyed. I was like, oh, that's awful. So hopefully Matt Reeves will come out the other side is doing something awesome. Last bit of news here for the show. For those who do have HBO now, HBO Max. I always forget the names, it's changed so much. Superman is now streaming as of last Friday on there. And for those who bought it on PVOD, James Gunn and the studios have confirmed his commentary. I think also no commentary for the designers on Fantastic Four. But they will have director's commentary with other people added to those releases already purchased, and I think it will be on streaming as well this week. So for those who are interested in director's commentary, and James Gunn sure seems to think everyone is interested in his commentary based on the social media he does, that will be available for you.
Yeah, they did like a big launch. They reskinned HBO. They had all of these categories that were like supporting other content. They did like a new like HBO logo treatment bumper in front of the I guess the stream of it when you click play. I think the crazy thing is we talked about it briefly that Paramount Skydance was thinking about bidding for Warner Brothers. And then there was like some reports that like Netflix was throwing its hat in the ring, and we don't even know. Like, I don't even think Warner Brothers is officially kind of like up for sale yet. I think people are just kind of like putting their interests out in the world. And, we don't want corporate mergers at all. It's not good or healthy for Hollywood. But I guess I didn't really think about it from the point of view of like, oh yeah, all of the DC, the ownership of DC, just as it would just go to a wholly different company. Yep. And that's kind of crazy to think about. It's been with Warner Brothers. Like, I guess, ownership of Warner Brothers has changed, but it's just kind of gone from just like one corporate media conglomerate, to another. Like, this would be like kind of different, right? If it went to Netflix, like Netflix would finally own superheroes. They wouldn't have to go like to Mark Miller anymore, or go to these like they wouldn't have to do like these niche like superheroes anymore. Like they would have Superman and like Batman. Like that's like a gigantic get. And then it makes me think, oh, does HBO or HBO Max even exist as a platform anymore? Does it just get rolled into Netflix? And like, are you clicking play on Netflix to watch like the Batman 3 in the future? It's kind of weird to think about it in that perspective. That and then Netflix is like they rarely release stuff in theaters. So would this be like a hint of them like saying like, oh hey, we're gonna put stuff out in theaters now. We're gonna be feature players.
Yeah, I think that's what they're missing. Like and again, we are not. We wish we had a movie lawyer. Right? We always talk about that. But I think the idea is like putting things in theaters actually gets you revenue, like direct revenue you can count, right? Whereas releasing on streaming, you're just getting subscriptions. Like, what does that add up to? I don't know the calculation for streaming revenue, but I can tell you what the box office revenue is for sure. Because it's a 1-for-1, and then we always talk about like streaming is not a 1-for-1. But yeah, like everyone's like, oh, if Netflix buys it, they'll cancel the theatrical and go all streaming. I'm like, that is not what Netflix wouldn't buy a successful company and just roll them under themselves. They would obviously lean into that a little bit more, as well, because like I said, I wish more lower budget. I wish there was more options in the movie theaters that are good things that aren't necessarily just tent poles, because I would like to go to the movie theaters and have a good time. One of the shows I never watch, but I have lots of friends who do, is The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs. Are you familiar with this?
Never heard of this before, no.
Okay, so on Shudder, it's this guy who essentially, it's like the drive-in, or not the drive-in, the Mystery Science Theater 3000, but this guy's like a fan of bad movies and horror movies, and like he like gives you history of things, and I'm like, that would be fun to go and watch some of these things that he talks about, like in theaters, like having new ones for his show that's been going on for a while. So, do you think it? So my theory is not even do you think, this is the question. My theory is that they're gonna buy it, after they get rid of Discovery, if they go up for sale, that's when it would happen, because then they've shunted all the debt to Discovery. Discovery can go bankrupt, get rid of all the debt, and cease to exist, and then Warner Brothers will be purely profitable. But it is awfully bold to start saying we're going to buy your company before you even get done with your splitting that you're going to be doing. So, yeah, I don't know. We live in a dark timeline, Mike. It's the darkest timeline. But Superman now on streaming, so if you weren't able to see it or buy it, we can get HBO Max. You can watch it on there. So I would like to. I think what I'm going to try to do, over the next is revisit some of these movies. I'm only going to watch once over the summer, like Superman, Fantastic Four, First Steps. We haven't talked about it here, but Mortal Kombat got moved to May of next year. They had that much confidence in the movie that Warner Brothers was like, we're going to punt it to summer as a tentpole. Also, I think there was it wasn't near Avatar, but there was something else coming out here. We haven't talked about Anaconda. Do you think they're trying to kill that movie by putting it so close to Avatar? Like
I don't know.
That's a bad move, right? Like to do that, but like,
I mean, the original Anaconda, or at least the one that was released in the 90s, was such a nostalgic movie for me. It was one of those VHSs that we just had floating around in our house, so we watched it over and over and over again. And I was pleased to see the plot of the movie was just two guys trying to recreate the movie, and it sounds like they're not filmmakers at all in any way. So they're like just like getting like a $9,000 loan or something from the bank, which is so funny. But yeah, I didn't even realize it was coming out in December. Maybe it's like counter programming type of deal. Maybe they just know that they aren't going to get the type of returns that an Avatar would get, but not everybody is going to go to Avatar during the holidays. I don't know. It could be a risky move, but it could pay off.
Yeah, it is wild to me because I'm like, that's a dangerous time to put in a movie that I assume is a low budget movie as well. Like, I don't think Anaconda, they started announcing they were filming it a couple months ago, even like this calendar year. So like it's a quick turnaround. Jack Black also, you can't count him out at the box office, right? Like he's he's been doing Minecraft and Mario and all the other things. But when you sent me the first, I think it was the first image or plot of this, I did say it looks just like Tropic Thunder, where they're trying to make a movie by being in the real place and they actually accidentally get into a real war. So hopefully this is pretty entertaining. If you want to take a guess, can you guess how many Anaconda movies have been made before this one?
Ooh.
Before we wrap the show, this is a nice little trivia for you.
Since you're asking the question, it's got to be more than just the one I grew up with J-Lo in it. Mm-hmm. So
and Ice Cube,
I would guess.
Please do not forget our man.
John Voight too. Gotta get John Voight in there. I would think there's maybe three VHS like direct to movie spinoffs from it, and then I feel like there's got to be like an original Anaconda, maybe from like the 70s or something. So I want to say I want to say 5 before this one.
Well, you are correct. It is 5, but your logic is way off.
Oh, okay.
So this Anaconda movie is the 6th one, technically in the same universe, is what they're saying, or at least in the same. So Anaconda was the first one. The 97 one is the first one. Then there was the Hunt for the Blood Orchid in 2004.
Oh my God.
Anaconda 3, Offspring in 2008. Anaconda's Trail of Blood, put the S on there, Aliens in 2009. Those two were actually within a year of each other. And then Lake Placid versus Anaconda.
Whoa.
The old AVP style there, if you want to. So it's you had the right number, it's just wrong. And then honestly, there's a movie called Anaconda. Oh, that's China. I think it's the same movie as the new one, but there's a China release that's technically labeled as a different movie in here. So, very, very interesting to know that. But anyways, sorry to spin off there Anaconda at the end, but that is the end of the show. Mike, if people want to know what you're doing, what you're up to, where can they find you at?
Oh, they can read my webcomics at pickledcomics.com and liferewardsrisk.com. Chris, people want to catch up with you. Where can they find you?
Find me on Instagram, Valdan87, VALDAN, or Video Game Systems of the same name. If people want to know more about the show, what we're doing, where we come back every week with all these good news articles, where can they get that at?
Oh, all you got to do is head on over to superheroslate.com. We are always posting all of our episodes over there on our awesome upcoming release calendar. So over there, we are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to podcasts, we're there. You can get merch at superheroslate.com/store. We love hearing from you. Do you like Anaconda? My Anaconda don't want none unless you're subscribed, son. So we love our super fans. So if you want to be a super fan of this show, all you have to do is share the show with a friend, share the show with a buddy, and we will be here every week, folks.
And also have buns. But we will catch you guys